WWE Unforgiven 2003. Shane's balls. Oh, Shane. God damn. That poor scrotum. My God. Good God almighty. Well, we talk a lot about Shane McMahon's genitalia on this show. And some wrestling, I think, fights its way in there at some point. I don't know. You'll just have to find out right here on the Apron Bump Podcast.
It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get it started.
What's up, everybody? What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope you didn't miss me too much. Coming back after a little week-long break. If you've been following my social media, you'll know that, I had a good reason for not putting out an episode last week. And I've been getting a lot of cards, a lot of faxes, a lot of letters asking how my week last week went. And for anybody asking, for anybody wondering, for anybody pondering, yes, my goldfish's circumcision went on, was successful. It was successful. It was an arduous process. I don't know. It seems like these doctors have never cut a goldfish's cock meat off. I don't like. Is that not day one of veterinarian school? But I don't know. 2024. People don't want to work for it, I guess, anymore. So, but we got there. Had to had to make sure the wounds didn't open up, and if they did, I had to close it like an envelope. I had to do a little and then put it on. So, but we're good. We're good. So other than that, everything's fine. Oh, sometimes I think I'm the only one that enjoys this podcast, and I don't care. I might as well not even record this. This is all for me. I don't care about you guys. Just kidding. That was a joke. I hope you forgive me for that joke. Speaking of forgiven, Unforgiven. 2003 is what we're talking about today. A little World Wrestling Entertainment vehicle coming at us from Hershey, Pennsylvania. September of 2003. I think it's September. I don't know. It's one of those fall bullshit pay-per-views that don't really matter. It's actually a very interesting show here. Is it good? I think that'd be a hard thing to say. But it is a Raw specific pay-per-view, and if you know anything about WWE in 2003, you'll know that boy howdy, you're working your way uphill if you're trying to have a good Raw exclusive pay-per-view. Raw is in the dumpster, literally in some ways, in 2003. Not a lot of good stuff happening. However, there is a little ditty happening known as Kane versus Shane. Yes, we are deep in what I consider prime Kane. We're lighting people on fire. We're getting thrown into burning dumpsters. We're giving tombstone pile drivers to old ladies. And yes, we're hooking up car batteries to millionaire sons and electrocuting him from the balls up. So, believe me, we get into that. Probably too much we get into that on this show. But other things we're looking at here, we got Goldberg versus Triple H for the world title in the main event. Finally, we got these guys one-on-one. A lot to get into there. Not really in the match per se, just in the overall booking. More Goldberg talk. We're kind of where Triple H is, and why the main event really didn't go as it probably should have. Speaking of which, we got more Scott Steiner versus Test with a little Stacy Keibler. Oh, fighting for human lives. Women are property in 2003, and that's fun. We got a women's title. No, not a women's title match. We got a women's tag team match. We got an intercontinental triple threat match. The Dudleys. We got a tables match. What am I forgetting? Oh, Randy Orton versus Shawn Michaels. Randy Orton's pretty much coming out party. His first big one-on-one match on a pay-per-view. So So very interesting to see where he is now versus where he was here. There's a lot of parallels, mirroring images in a lot of ways. So there's a lot to get into with Unforgiven '03, and I couldn't ask for anybody better than my boy Juss from the GETCHO podcast, joining me on the show, returning to the show. Always a good time with Justino. Go check out the GETCHO podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. They get into wrestling, they get into pop culture, sports, badminton, crochet, Goya beans. I mean, you name it, they talk about it. Primarily a wrestling podcast. They'll talk about the major hullabaloo in wrestling, but they get into other stuff. It's a variety show. They do fun segments. I was on it a few weeks ago, and it's a good old time. So if you like fun in wrestling, which nowadays it's like finding a needle in a haystack, go check out the GETCHO podcast. It's definitely one worth throwing into your rotation. At GETCHO podcast on all the social medias. I'll put all that stuff in the description. Charlie's a part of it. Vince Delgado. I mean, just a who's who, really. So, good boys over there, good crew, and yeah, do that. Give them a follow and a kiss on the cheek, and go up to Juss and polish his head like a bowling ball. Do all that stuff. And if you want, while you're just following people, why don't you follow me? At Apron Bump on all the social medias, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, touts. Been doing a lot of YouTube lately. Well, more so than usual. We'll be ramping it up here. Always looking to ramp it up. And what else? Hey, if you like this era of wrestling, maybe you're jumping in cold here. Maybe you just discovered your boy. Well, I suggest to you go to apronpump.com and you go to the episodes tab. And there you'll find all of the different chronological timelines that I cover. Select whatever you would like, whether it's this, Ruthless Aggression, Attitude Era, Monday Night Wars, what TNA, Ring of Honor, Progress Wrestling, you name it. I babble about it. So go check it out, binge away. Like I said, it's all chronological. You can relive these eras. And I'll put a link specifically to this one that we're talking about here, early 2000s. WWE, which is always, I'll tell you this, 2000, like early 2000s to mid 2000s, WWE, I think, ages way worse than Attitude Era WWE. And we're going to talk about a few reasons on this show, but I've babbled enough. I've prefaced this probably too much already. Let's just get right into it, baby. WWE Unforgiven 2003 with myself and Juss from the GETCHO podcast.
The male pitch perfect right now. You know what I'm saying? I saw the sign.
I have these voice effects that I feel like I never like. Watch this. Hold on. Give it a second.
Listen.
Do you hear it? Is it doing anything?
Yeah.
Do I sound like T-Pain? T-Pizzle?
There's a little beat there. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. Do a little melody. Come on. Apron bump coming at you. Come on.
Let's go. Hold on. The demon. What's the demon sound like? All right, it's enough of that.
That's when a pregnant woman gets the epidermis.
Give it to the epidermis.
Oh, get it out of me.
Is this from experience?
Mm-hmm.
Do you give pregnant women the old epidural?
Do I
you know what I'm saying?
No, I've only experienced one pregnant.
Yeah. It was just like that, huh?
Just similar, very similar. It's like very like in Ghostbusters, like there is no Dana, only Zool type of moment.
I've never seen Ghostbusters. Fun fact.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It was I've never seen Ghostbusters.
All right, call Charlie Garn or somebody else to do this episode.
Just get some other.
Charlie, you busy?
Throw in another Asian.
Oh, you still in the closet? No, damn it! Can you believe this guy has never seen Ghostbusters? Oh, you're busy. Okay,
he's not busy. That's how I knew it wasn't real. What's this dude doing? He's locked in there. I just slid him a sandwich underneath the door.
Ghostbusters? Just never into it, or just never had the time, or it didn't catch your attention?
Yeah, I'm not a ghost guy. Not a spooky boy, I guess you could say.
You're not one to cross streams.
Well, I mean, that's a completely different question. They're just a beat Justino, but Ghost, I don't know. I think Casper kind of traumatized me as a kid a little bit.
Casper, because turning into Devin Sawa is enough to be like, yeah, that's not my genre. That's not my genre.
Yeah, kind of turned me off to Ghosts for the rest of my life. So
no Patrick Swayze doing pottery, get you in the mood.
No, I don't even know what that is. Is that a movie?
No.
Is that Dirty Dancing? Is there ghosts in Dirty Dancing?
No, but technically he is a ghost because fortunately he passed away. So
yeah, well, so maybe he could be the new. There's a Casper Dirty Dancing crossover we could probably figure out.
But you know what? Speaking of ghosts, the coach has a lot of his spirits into this pay-per-view.
Bro, why does this theme go so hard?
It goes harder than it should. Come on.
It's
and I'm led to believe whoever saw that video and that same beat, this was decided like, let's use that same intro and that same music for Judge Mathis. I'm just saying.
Is Coach not just Judge Mathis? Maybe that's his gimmick name.
Who's who here?
I mean, that's really the question maybe we'll tackle today. But yeah, Coach is probably the MVP of Unforgiven 03, would you say?
Oh, Coach or Al Snow?
I mean, it was a collaborative effort, but I think
Coach was... I was like, he still works here at 03?
Yeah, Al Snow, they kind of just pulled him out of the junk drawer whenever they needed him. And
I was like, I don't even know if he was like a coach. No pun intended. I don't know if he was like, you know, an agent back there. I was like, wow, Al Snow is still here.
Yeah, no head. There's no head given on this show. There was wood. People got wood, but no head.
Yep. I mean, that would mean he was a little stiff in the ring.
Oh, okay. Maybe that, but he won.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the key to victory is stiffness.
Stiffness. Like he walks with a lot of girth. You know?
Ooh, and gird. Those are different things. But yes, Unforgiven 03, man. Overall thoughts? What'd you make of this little ditty?
You know what? I know when you asked me to do this, I was like, okay, this time of WWE is kind of a shit show, kind of, depending on what brand, right? Because if it's a SmackDown pay-per-view, then you know you're getting quality wrestling. If it's a Raw, you don't know what kind of weird ass Katie Vick type of Goldberg can't wrestle type matches, you know. But for the bulk of this, it was pretty solid. It was pretty good. I gotta say, it wasn't bad. Like, I mean, you had the IC title, you had Shawn Michaels. I mean, come on, that's kind of saved the whole thing. The women's tag team match and Shane and Kane, Kane and Shane, Shane and Kane.
Bring the pain.
Hey, no pain, no gain.
Oh, that's insane.
Don't be ashamed.
Well, Nick Wayne was not here. I don't think he was born here.
No, but it was Bruce Wayne though.
Oh, Wayans brothers.
Actually, a couple years ago, they actually aired their last episode to this date. So shout out
the Wayans,
the Wayans brothers. Yeah.
Well, episode of what? Do they have a show?
Yeah, the Wayans brothers.
I don't watch anything, Juss. I don't know if you're gathering this. I only watch wrestling and pornography.
Yeah, Wayans brothers. They had a show called Wayans Brothers. Marlon and Sean Williams.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Oh, damn.
Weren't they? What's the movie? What's the movie where one of them was a baby?
Little Man. Yeah, remember they were like the kings of parodies.
Right.
They did White Girls, Scary Movie, obviously.
Yeah.
We won't talk about those.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different podcast in itself. But yeah, man, I agree. Yeah, I threw this at you, a Raw specific 2003 pay-per-view. So the bar is in hell. I'll say that. There's not a lot of high expectations, but I would agree. This show, I think, over-delivered, given that low bar. And honestly, I was watching it. Like, it didn't drag for me. I thought it was paced. There was a lot of silly shit on this show, but you need a little silly shit in wrestling, and just enough good wrestling to where I was like, all right, this wasn't a complete waste of time. So
No, it wasn't a complete waste of time at all. And actually, I watched a little bit of the Raws build up for this, and the highlight reel might be one of my favorite like all time segments.
really, which one in particular?
The one that he did against Stone Cold, where he's just trying to like basically provoke him at every time, which is like very awkward. It gets awkward in this pay-per-view too, like just him like getting close to his face and all in his space. Like, okay, are you just gonna just kiss or what's going on here? Like
a lot of sexual tension.
Very, very. I mean, a snake, a reel, a lot of
a
up
tree.
and down motion.
Now he's a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Branches,
You see where
stiff
I'm going?
branches. I do.
He has a bat named Floyd.
Oh,
So
have you been following Stone Cold and his cats? By the way,
I know when the Broken Skull, like the podcast, was like a huge thing when it was like always on there. He was always talking about his cats.
Yeah. So Lefty just died. Poor Lefty. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, I don't know the names like that. For real.
So Poncho. Poncho's
yeah, I
become a
remember
sensation.
Poncho. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of a newer cat, I think. Or at least I just discovered it. Maybe I'm just late to the game. But
okay.
He got another cat, a little kitten named Macho. So we got Macho and Poncho. So that's good. That's good fun.
Are you a cat guy, by the way? Cat guy, dog guy?
I don't know. Just why don't you ask Rock here?
See, I just did. I knew you were a cat guy. I just wanted the viewers to get a look at the nice little pretty cat.
I just pulled her out of a dead sleep. I'm such a piece of shit.
That's why it was like, get your hands off me. I want to go cat. Yeah. I'm allergic to cats, but if I had to choose, I'm a cat person.
Yeah. No, they're great.
My wife has had a cat. My best friend has had a cat, and yeah, they're really efficient.
Efficient?
Yeah. Oh. Like walking the dog. That's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not trying to downplay any dog lovers that might be listening to this. Please, I love dogs too, but I'm just saying, cats don't need to go and walk them. They walk themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, give them a box.
They clean themselves as well.
Yo, we got an auto feeder. I want to feed them. We just sit here and they just scratch my penis.
They go to the kitty litter. They know where to do their business.
Exactly.
Doesn't get in the way of anything.
They're not. I'll tell you what. They're not French, but you know who is? Hold on, no, I got a better one. Your cats, they don't provide a lot of resistance. But speaking of La Resistance, we got La Resistance here in this opening match, defending their tag team titles against the team that's always in these fucking opening matches for whatever reason. The Dudley Boys. Bubba Ray and Devon. So this was supposed to be a 6-man tag.
Right.
It's also a tables match, of course. But Spike was supposed to be in this match, and he is not in this match. Do you know why, Juss?
Yeah. So like that spot, that was legitimately like they fucked up, right? They
no. Let's take a look and see.
Look at this guy here.
Oh. There's the little replays. They showed a couple different angles. We got slow motion coming here. Look at his head.
Oh my god! Damn.
Gooish.
Shit.
Gooish. Yeah. So for anybody listening, it's you've probably seen this clip online of Spike getting thrown over the top rope, attempting to get thrown through a table, but everything but the top of his head missed the table, smacks the table. His body smacks the floor. It was devastating looking. And Spike is not in this match, but
that just looked brutal. I mean, we've seen that match. I've seen that so many times, and still gives me shades of Darby Allin.
Right. Darby Allin really is the second coming of Spike Dudley, isn't he?
I mean, come on.
They're the same.
Spike, Mikey Whiprap, right?
Mikey Whiprap, yeah, he's my favorite. Rockstar Spud.
Rockstar Spud, yeah. Oh, snap. All the legends that just want to,
Yeah, kind of went downhill really fast. Yeah. But yeah, man. So we got tables match. So the rules I'm curious to what you think about these rules. So it's kind of an elimination match, but not really, because You got to put all of your opponents through a table,
Right.
but when you put somebody through a table, they're not eliminated from the match.
Right.
Which I feel like the live audience just had to be confused, no?
I I don't know if, well, I guess they might have been, but I know that through the commentary, like they kept repeating that over and over and over.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, JR and King were like, just because he's throwing at the table doesn't mean he's eliminated. Oh no, oh no. It's like, and they kept
Yeah.
repeating that same sentence like at least every 5 minutes just to make sure that we understood. The audience though might be a different story.
I was about to say, if you're not, because I think from my understanding, every tables match before this, like you got thrown through a table, you had to go to the back. So now we're just switching it up, and I didn't hear them like announce the rules beforehand. Maybe I missed it. I don't know, but
No, you're right, because in the tag team tables eliminator match, the whoever the entire tag team goes, right?
right, yeah,
Or just a person is gone.
or sorry, just the person, just the
Just the
person.
person,
Well, I
okay.
guess they've probably done it both ways, honestly, over the years. They're very inconsistent with their rules.
That's the day and age we can go both ways.
Yeah, we like to. So the Dudleys are going for their 17th tag team championship, which that kind of surprised me. Like this early, we're not even counting the TNA stuff or anything. It's I mean, 8-time ECW. By the way, you could tell JR had spent the day on Wikipedia all day because he was just spitting out these facts all throughout the show in a manner that he never does. He knew what titles everybody had won.
Title.
Oh, he said 8 from ECW, 1 from WCW, 7 from WWE. Which,
dude, that's perfect, spot on JR right there.
Thanks, man. I've been eating a lot of barbecue sauce to get ready for it. So, yeah, man. I mean, look, Dudley's opening match, tables, French. It's it's an easy way to start the show. You're gonna get the crowd hot. You're gonna beat up some foreigners, get them out of there, put them through some wood. The crowd wants tables. They get tables. They get a lot of tables. What do you think about this one?
Honestly, like, yeah, the Dudley Boys and La Resistance doesn't get enough props as a tag
They're solid,
team, right? Like they were never too overused or too hype, but they did the work of being heel tag teams. I still think they should have showed up in France a couple pay-per-views ago, right? When they were there. Come on now. But they did their thing. The Dudleys though, what else can you say? I mean, the timing that they have. I mean, this was just another tag team match for them. I did find it funny when they returned the favor, where they did the same exact thing that was done to Spike that they did to one of the La Resistance tag team members.
To Rob Conway, I believe it was.
Rob Conway, that's who I was thinking of.
They did the old, it's like a double spine buster type of move. I think they call it like the au revoir, or I don't know, some French bullshit. But yeah, but they set up 2 tables because they had learned from their previous mistakes. So they had like a little bit of buffer. But Rob Conway went through the table that was closest to the ring and hit his head in the same way against the second table, which I thought was just perfect. It's probably not what they wanted, but it was still perfect.
It's still, everyone knew that was like a whole revenge thing, but honestly, I remember seeing a lot of these 2 in 03. Solid opener.
Good heels. I mean, 2003, throw out a different country, people will boo you. So we don't need to think too hard about it.
It's easy at that time.
Give them a flag. Fuck these guys. It's a different flag than my flag.
Have a whole accent. Don't speak the language. Yeah, easy to get over.
Put a beret on. Come on. Bring out Fifi on a leash. Get this piece of shit out of here. I'm with you. But yeah, so people start going through tables. I think Devon just gets thrown through one in the corner. Bubba suplexes Sylvan through a table. Let's see, Rob Conway, the spot we talked about, getting thrown over the top rope. And then so now it's just Bubba and Rene Dupree that need to go through a table. And then ultimately the Dudleys are able to hit the 3D onto Rene Dupree through the table, and we got new tag team champions, baby. Come on now. Which, in the context, because I've been watching this chronologically, La Resistance, since they debuted, had been pretty dominant, which they've been there for a few months. Not a lot of losses. They came in, won the titles, and it's been a while since the Dudleys had won the tag titles. I mean, I think it was
In
Been
that
at least a
era, the La
year.
Resistance held their title for a long time. I mean, they had a long reign, you know.
Right.
Must be the French fries or French toast or
You know, I don't think French fries are actually French. Did you know that?
oh yeah, do explain.
Well, let me see. So French fries originated first in 1937.
Mm.
Are French fries French? You know what? That's a lot. It's a lot of research I got to do on French fries. We'll table that for a separate episode. The French fries show with Juss and Kyle.
Yeah, I
So
like that. We could do that. We could do that.
I like it a lot. Hey, so when I think of Raw in 2003, I don't know about you, but what I think of is Scott Steiner versus Test. Because Jesus Christ, did these guys love wrestling each other?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, people talk about you know, cinema. They talk about long story booking.
Yeah.
This has to be up there. You do not put these two aside when you talk about long-term story booking. They have done this storyline, this exact one, for like what? Like a couple, 3, 4 pay-per-views already?
Yeah.
Even during Raw, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm watching this, I'm like, there is no way that you can do this now, right? And this is one of the feuds and that like kind of just like don't age well, you know.
Yeah. I watch a lot of like this era of wrestling is like my bedtime wrestling. You know, it's like what I throw on TV when I'm in bed, and my wife happens to be next to me when I'm in bed. This is this type of stuff that when this is on, because she you know indulges, she enjoys a lot of the wrestling that I watch.
Yeah.
When we have Test pulling Stacy Keibler around by her hair and calling her his bitch and making her do what he wants, that's one of the parts that my wife's like, hey, why are we watching this kind of thing? why did I marry you? You know, it's one of those deals. So
yes.
I don't know.
No, I mean, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's just like, no, I mean, even in 03, I felt like this was kind of like a dated feud, you know? But
Yeah.
I guess in some aspects, like it kind of worked. I mean, this is the time when they were phasing all that shit out, right? Like Attitude Era and all the bikini type stuff, and women are just like, you know, accessories.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I mean, all could have been done away with, but you had to make Tess win. You know,
yeah,
like
we gotta prolong
now we're just going back
this.
to what we were just talking about.
Dude, because it's like what you said, how it was even dated in 03. I completely agree. Because we're watching. So this match on Cage Match, it's listed as Stacy's Services versus Steiner's Services. So Test already owns Stacy. She's his property. So if Test wins, he also gets Scott Steiner as his property. Steiner wins, he gets Stacy back from Test, but also becomes his property. So, you know, we're it's a little indentured servitude, I guess, maybe is at stake.
Kind of cucking, but whatever.
A little cucky.
A little cucky. A little cucky. Yep.
But it's like so vulgar and so like nasty when the crowd doesn't care though. So it's like so much it's so much like risk for little reward basically.
Yes.
There's so little return on investment with the shit they're throwing these people into. So
and the way Tess is grabbing her and everything is just, you know, just speaks on abuser, you know what I'm saying? And
it's giving abuser. Yeah.
Yes. And the crowd is like the crowd is either half cheering or they're like half booing. You know?
Yeah.
It's like it's very mixed. And like as a child watching this, I hope the parent is explaining like none of this shit is real. I just want you to let you know, okay?
That's
like,
not how you find a wife. You don't wrestle a match
get a girlfriend. That's not how you get a girlfriend. And then that's not the type of deal you want to make. You offer your services too with the girlfriend also.
Right. But also that kind of begs the question, you know, Steiner's services are at stake. What are Scott Steiner's services, do you think?
That was a good question. I was going to ask you myself. A lot of push-ups.
Ooh,
right? A lot of push-ups.
So he
a
like
lot
spots
of
you.
The bicep, right? Spots,
right.
The slow motion biceps.
So is he just supplying you with his biceps?
I'm thinking that, And of course, who can forget Steiner math is probably what's going to be teaching as well.
Tutoring.
Right?
That's the service. So test maybe. Hold on. Test has a test coming up. Needs a tutor. We figured it out.
But it's going to be a little elevated. It's going to be a pop quiz.
Ooh, big pop quiz.
Come
big
on.
pop. Oh, what?
Come on. It writes itself.
Look at this.
What are we? Come on.
I mean, is this poetry? Is this fun? I think
in
it
motion.
might be.
In motion.
Look at that. Shout out to Hardy's. But yeah. Honestly, the match is like about as good as you would expect.
It's right. It's sloppy.
You know a fun thing. So Scott Steiner did like a reverse DDT, which, as we all know, that's Henry O'Godwin's move, the slop drop.
Look at that! Shout out!
So when I was watching this and I was taking notes on stuff, I was like, Scott Steiner hits a sloppy drop. You know,
classic.
So.
I mean, like, listen. When certain wrestlers are known to do those moves, I feel like it should be paid homage. Just like the shit we got going on with these years on suplexes and takedowns. 1947 suplex, 1981 DDT. Like, no, slop drop Godwin DDT or Godwin DDT.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
God's DDT,
Hog,
whatever.
Hog DDT, HOG. There's something there. We could workshop that.
You know me, HOG.
I do. So this match happens. Stacy's probably the most active out of the three, and she's not even in the match because Test hits a low blow at some point on Steiner, rolls up Steiner. Test puts his feet on the ropes. Stacy shoves his feet off because, you know, if you're not familiar, folks, Stacy does not like being owned by Test. She wants to be with Steiner.
Of course.
So she wants Steiner to win, obviously. So Tess is pissed. He's like, why are you getting involved? So he grabs her by the hair, pulls her up on the apron. Then Steiner hits the sloppy drop for 2. Tess fights back, hits his power slam. Stacy gets up and distracts the ref from making the counts. And then Tess chases her around the ring. Stacy ends up running into Scott Steiner, which distracts this big dumb idiot. Yeah. Allows Tess to hit the big boot, but only for 2. So there's actually some pretty fun kind of near falls here, you know, for what it's worth. But ultimately, Tess ends up ripping the turnbuckle cover off. Ref takes the cover. I guess it's his job to put it back on. You'd think there's somebody else.
Right.
I don't know. But the ref fumbles with the turnbuckle cover. This allows Tess to grab the chair, but Stacy grabs the chair away from him, swings the chair at Tess, but by golly, Bob's your uncle hits Scott Steiner by accident. Boot of doom from Tess. Tess pins 1, 2, 3. Scott Steiner's his new bitch, and I quote. So fun times, right?
Fun times, and it's like that whole scenario when Stacy Cleaver runs and he just like bumps into Papa Pump. And it's like Papa Pump is like, oh, like not even the presence of mind. Like I'm in a match still, you know.
I mean, very easily distracted.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It's Stacy Keibler. You're right.
I guess you can't really blame him, right?
No, you can't.
I mean,
she's got legs. Know how to use them.
Banger.
By the way, each one had an entrance in this match too. Stacy Keibler and Tess did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sloppy match. It was there.
Man, looks like we're getting more of them. So thank goodness.
Hold on. I also want to ask you a question. In 2003, how many people did you know have the dyed hair and the tips like Tess did?
Ooh, I did.
I did
in 2003.
Yeah.
Did
you go bleach blonde and then like have the tips colored, or did you go just?
No, it was like mostly this color with some blonde just kind of swirled in there. It wasn't even really tips. Okay. It was kind of just, you know, I don't know. It was shit.
Okay. What type of gel were you using?
Got
head? Was it called? Got head. Bedhead.
What's the one in the brown bottle? It was that one. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know there was like LA Looks was a popular one.
Gel, brown bottle.
Gel, right?
Turns out there's a lot of gel in brown bottles. So this isn't helping me. Men's. The people need. Oh, crew.
Oh my god.
Yes.
What a time.
Man, I had some stiff hair in 2003. Let me tell you, I had the front spikes.
Did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
God.
The upkeep on those back then was it's expensive.
Yeah, it was.
I'm so glad. I wanted to cut my hair so bad all the way throughout the high school.
Well, it looks like you figured it out. So. Hey, did you buy this Trish Stratus DVD or VHS or whatever it was?
I remember that. I remember seeing the that DVD and like that whole Diva like swimsuit, like Sports Illustrated thing.
Divas in Heat or whatever it was.
Divas in Heat. Nah, I didn't buy it. No.
Got it on LimeWire. I think this 100% Stratisfaction guaranteed, or whatever this DVD, there's a commercial on here. Pretty sure I LimeWired it and,
Okay.
Consumed it. I consumed this one.
For the audience that doesn't know what LimeWire is, how long did it take you to download that?
Oh, man. That was like probably a before school. Throw it on, come back from school, have myself a treat. One of those.
It's like, oh my gosh, guys, it's at 46% in 2 hours. We're gonna get some Stratisfaction.
Oh, it might have just been the image file too of the cover. That's probably all I needed too. Well,
hell no. You'd be waiting for that green light.
Speaking of sexy, we got a sexy boy. We got a sexy boy on deck here, folks. Shawn Michaels.
That's why I got my
taking on. Ooh, I like it. Mm-hmm. So we got legend versus legend killer. Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton. And it's like Randy's first big singles match on pay-per-view. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of the guys that they weren't like past their prime or anything, but they weren't at the level, obviously, as Shawn Michaels. They weren't like active like that. I mean, Mankind, like Sergeant Slaughter. I think like some of the 80s.
Well, Legend Killer, I don't even think he had, because the Legend Killer is still very new. He just gave the old RKO to Fabulous Moolah.
Yes,
like a week or two before this.
Yep.
Mick Foley, like you said, is when he kicked him down the stairs. So, man. I'm going to ask you, have you ever seen a louder slap than the one that Shawn gave to old Randy here?
If folks were ready for old HBK.
What's that?
The funny part is that he hits his head on the wall, too. He hits his head on the wall.
If folks were ready for old HBK.
What's that?
It probably caught him off guard. How quick.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, there's no wind up. It's just uncorked.
If folks were ready
Get it.
for old HBK.
What's that?
Sean was pissed about something. He had something.
See, that's
eating
that.
at
You know
him.
what that is? That's that born again Christian strength right there. You know what I'm
I
saying?
see.
You never want to get one of them mad. Never trigger a born again Christian, because that's the type of might and strength and religious power is going to come at you.
That came from the heavens, is what you're saying.
Came from right. It's like somebody had a stack of Bible right there.
Woo. Put your hand on this.
It's a palm on a palm. You know what I'm saying? Palm on palms.
I mean, ow. I mean, your mic might be on fire. We get a fire extinguisher. This is just, man. Well,
no, but just imagine. Okay, so he slaps Randy Orton like that. That's the type of momentum that he's slapping his thigh. Also, when he does a super sweet chin music.
Ooh, yeah. Did he? Was he a thigh slapper? Shawn Michaels?
I don't think he was. Well, I know sometimes when those ones that come out of nowhere, I don't know if he's a thigh slap. Actually, you know what? You're right.
I think maybe sometimes. He's not as obtuse.
No, not like the Young Bucks, where it's like all the. We don't have.
It's not like Johnny Gargano who does it when he chops. People like slap their thighs when they throw chops. It's like, buddy,
It's like he'll slap his thigh before the move. Like you're supposed to do it with the move.
oh,
You know?
these kids these days.
People. They try to be
kids.
Sean. They try. Everyone tries, but they can't.
Because they got the look that drives the girls wild. Drives them mild though. These other people, you know. So, well, Randy's here. He's felt. He's a svelte Randy Orton here, young boy. First big pay-per-view match here against Shawn Michaels. And this felt like kind of like the testing, kind of like the pilot episode for Randy Orton here.
I like that.
Yeah, I would say he succeeded. I mean, obviously he would go on to, you know, have the career he would have, but I think this is kind of the start here. I thought this was a pretty damn good match. What do you think about it?
Yes, I think we talked about it a little bit in the our private DMs where nobody else can see what we do there.
Tawdry.
But I did mention in there that this is probably one of the match of the night, and pretty much it was. I mean, the Randy Orton was so young at this time, but if I could be serious for a second, like he already had the in-ring skills.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
Like it was, I wouldn't say he had the in-ring psychology, but he knew what Shawn wanted out of him, and he didn't waste any motion, right? Like a lot of the people at this time too, Shawn Michaels was wrestling with, he was wrestling with a lot of particular wrestlers that kind of had his speed in like 95, 96. Like you see he did that thing with Shelton Benjamin, Jericho, Randy Orton. So he's like specifically picking these guys to help bring them up to the next level. And it's so funny because like when you look at how he is now, there's a certain style of guys and women that he chooses in NXT to put a lot of time in. You know,
what kind of style is that?
You know, the very flamboyant, the dramatic, the selling. You know, like a lot of the wrestlers on NXT may not be as like in-ring athletic like some of the other guys are. Right. But like, okay, Carmelo Hayes, I'll give you an example, right? Carmelo Hayes. He's just as athletic as Shawn Michaels was or is, right? But I think the thing that he's trying to get him to work on is pulling the crowd in, like getting emotional, right? Yeah. Kind of like what Daniel Bryan does. That's why Shawn Michaels had a lot of time with Daniel Bryan. Like Adam Cole is a perfect scenario, right? He does all the things that Shawn Michaels could do, but he can pull the crowd in when he's trying to get that comeback, right? Like you're with him. Something like that.
Because Shawn Michaels, people think Shawn Michaels, he's always like in the conversation for one of the best ever, and he is.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not like he had like an incredibly, like, it's not like he did a bunch of different moves. Like he didn't have this like incredibly complex move set, no springboards or weird flips into pile drivers, slam kicks. Like it's a lot of punching and kicking from Shawn Michaels, but it's the psychology, like you said, that made him one of the best. And yeah, Randy, I guess trying to give it to him through osmosis. Maybe Shawn is just the experience. I'm sure is very valuable because you could tell Randy just the way he moves. You could tell there's something there, and especially in this era where you guys got coming in like Chris Nowinski and Rodney Mack and fucking
Chris
Masters. You see these guys come in, and you understand why they didn't have the success that Randy did. Just the innate, just the foundation. Because you can always learn moves, you can learn different things, you can play around with your character, but like Randy just has the thing. You know?
Yes, exactly. And I thought that this was like a perfect match too for him at that young age too. I do have a question though. Do you prefer tights, Shawn Michaels, or leather pants, Shawn Michaels?
Aesthetically, I prefer the tights, but I think most of his best work came with the pants.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think like from that, like in my mind, I maybe prefer the pants, but just let me look at you. Give me some tights. Give me some tights. What about you?
I'm the same way. Of course, the tights. I mean, there's a list of like we could do a top 50 of his ring gear, just tights alone.
Yeah.
But he's had better matches in the chaps.
Yeah.
You know, I might say Kurt Angle WrestleMania 21 might be better than him and Brett WrestleMania 12.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not just with the Undertaker. I mean, there's a lot of other gems in there too, and that's actually funny you bring that up because commentary in this match, they're looking at Shawn like he's over the hill, like he's almost at the end.
Yeah.
When in reality, is probably the bulk of his quality stuff is still yet to come at this point, which is crazy.
Which it's funny because like I think when we did Survivor Series, right? From that point, that's 02 to now, he hasn't really had that many matches too.
No, not that many, no.
So like you said, like he's just starting his basically the next phase of his new run.
Right, and he hasn't faced a lot of up and coming guys like you mentioned, because he's faced like Jericho, but he wrestled Triple H a bunch. He's wrestled Ric Flair and stuff like that. He's been in tag matches, but to see him, this is very refreshing at this point to see him face somebody new. So
was that a sound effect or was that a?
No, that was just my excitement.
Oh,
sometimes it comes out. It's like Tourette's.
When you talk about Shawn Michaels, just have a little burp, just
particularly when we talk about his tights, it makes some excitement bubble up inside me. So. But yeah, man, good match here. It was very, he comes out the gate, he skins the cat. Randy does and follows it up with a drop kick. That's like right away.
Dude,
so like set the tone of like, oh, he's here.
Does he have the best drop kick?
It's a good one. It's up there.
Yeah,
up
for
there.
sure.
Yeah, him, AJ.
AJ Styles. Yep.
Hardcore Holly. CM Punk. No.
Kane.
Kane. yeah. But yeah. Ric Flair also, by the way, is here. Of course, Evolution member with Randy Orton. I think he's probably the hardest worker in this whole development.
I mean, he was working hard because the sweat, man, was coming through that button up,
I mean, good golly. It's got to be humid there in, where were they? Hershey, Pennsylvania?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yep.
What's your favorite chocolate?
I was just going to ask you fucking. I always go back and forth with this, with teen chocolates. Right now, Holly Berry.
Still, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much.
She's still kicking, right?
But if I have to choose chocolate, if candy, Reese's Pieces.
Oh, I like that.
I also like Ferrero Rocher is another one that's up there.
Really? That's at the top of your list, huh?
That's the top of my list. Ferrero Rocher, love those.
So you love unpeeling gold to get to the chocolate. Shout out Trick Williams.
Yep, and biting into that hazel center. You know what I'm saying?
That creamy squirt.
Yep. Come on,
love a creamy
squirt.
What
I'm talking about.
I do. What caught me off guard here is that Shawn tunes up the band for the sweet chin music.
Yeah.
And then he hits it. Like he never tunes up the band and then actually hits it, but he does that here. It's not he's fucking telling his opponent that it's coming. Everybody's clapping. Like, of course he's never gonna hit it.
Yeah.
Randy's inexperienced here, so he doesn't hear the crowd, he doesn't adjust, so he gets kicked in the face. Shawn makes the pin, but Flair puts Randy's foot on the rope. But I think the ref counted 3, right? They did the whole thing.
I thought they kind of did a little botch, right? Where he actually counts to 3, but I think he counts to 3, and they quickly go into no, you didn't win because at the last second the ref saw the foot on the rope.
Well, I think Flair put his foot on the rope after the count.
Was it after the count? Okay,
I believe so.
Oh, was it after the count? Okay,
I don't remember.
See, that's Flair's fault.
Yeah. Well, I guess it all panned out. So maybe not. Maybe not, because the ref sees his foot on the rope. He's like, oh, darn tootin', I missed the call. Let's restart this match. While, Shawn and the ref are jolly, Shawn's pissed. He's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm the Heartbreak Kid. Oh. While this is all happening, Flair hands Randy some brass knucks. Randy takes a big old cartoon Popeye wind-up, swings it at Shawn. Shawn ducks. Tries to back suplex him in the ring, but Randy just hits him peppers him with some brass knuck shots. Yeah. Very unique way to throw them out there.
Dude.
I feel like the ref had to see that though, right?
I think he's just like, okay, I just want this match to be over. 1, 2, 3.
I'm trying to get to Al Snow.
It's too much shenanigans for one day here.
Yeah. So Randy wins with the brass knucks. And just a unique finish, a solid match. Nothing super flashy outside, I guess, the finish, but it was just a good match, I thought.
It was.
But after that, we got a little Divas action. A little Divas and heat here.
Ooh. Woo!
You're probably a big Gail Kim guy, aren't you?
You know what? Fun fact. I remember when we went to go Raw. And of course it was all the GETCHO guys. And when Gail Kim came out, Charlie grabbed my hand, my shoulder, was like, yo, Gail Kim, yo. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah, she's fine. Right. So yeah, Gail Kim. We all love Gail Kim over here.
Yeah, we love Gail Kim in this household. I'm with you. I'm with you. So it's a tag team match. We got Gail Kim making her pay-per-view debut, teaming with the women's champion, Molly Holly, to take on the team of Trish Stratus and their returning Lita. So quite the dream team on that side of the table there. Lita and Trish.
Yes.
I don't know, man. The only thing I really thought watching this match, it's like so clear why Lita and Trish are like what people think of from this era. Like, no disrespect to Gail and Molly because they had talent, but they were just nowhere near like the popularity level of Trish and Lita. I felt like.
So I remember when Gail Kim came out, like it was like, okay, woo, right? Molly Holly, okay. But man, it ramped up once like Lita and Trish Stratus came. I mean, when you go back and watch, anybody who's listening, go back and watch, like when those two came out, like you just seen, because back then they still had cameras, you just seen all this flash photography just go nuts on Lita and Trish Stratus. Like, and just like when they would go to the ring, it was just like, it just turned into another level when the two of them came out.
Right. Are you a Trish or a Lita guy?
Ooh.
Yeah.
It depends on the era.
Okay.
Right. I like heel Trish when she had the face mask.
Right.
Right. When she's doing that whole thing. But I like Lita like when she was just about to break off from the Hardys.
Okay.
Like that was like right before when she was in the hunt basically for the women's championship. So I like that.
I respect that. I think I'm kind of in the same boat. I like Trish, dude. Trish could fucking go, by the way. Like people always talk about Trish as if she was like just this eye candy, like she was always on her hands and knees, barking like a dog, which there is a bit of that. But man, with the time they were given, you could tell all these women were like trying to show out from a wrestling perspective. And Trish was way better than probably a lot of people remember, I thought.
No,
Lita,
I mean,
of course.
When you think about Trish Stratus, if we're talking about Trish Stratus for a second, like
please,
her promo skills. People don't give her credit for her promo skills.
Yeah.
Like like you said, the amount of time that she was given, like she really didn't fumble the bag when it came to that. I mean, of course, yeah, in the beginning, but as her as like, her as a champion, as a maid, the Trish Stratus brand, like she was really, really solid in the promo section. I would say a little bit better than Lita.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. As a character, I think Trish always shines more than Lita, but Lita was just so unique. Like there weren't a bunch of divas doing moonsaults back then. So
right.
Just the look, the tattoos even was way more rare back then. So she had a unique look to her, and they were a good package. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Good package. Yeah, this match happened. I think I blacked out during this match. I don't really know what happened. I know at some point, it's like I'll sit it during the entrances, but then I was like, okay, Gail and Molly are gonna beat up on these two, and then they're gonna come back.
The thing I will say about this match was good for the era that it was in.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it just sucks that Molly Holly and Gail Kim weren't utilized at the same time that Trish and Lita were. Because I think, Gail Kim, this is like her first 2 years, I think, in WWE.
I mean, no, she was only there for like a few months. Yeah.
You're right. And Molly Holly was mostly like a sidekick to Hurricane at this time, or like most of the Trish Lita years.
Right.
And she didn't really get her own like wave of being Molly Holly. She was like, I forgot what was her name in the group with Hurricane. She was like super
Mighty Molly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, she was like always in the hunt, but like her and Gail here just felt like nameless henchmen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where like Molly was always there. Like she would win the title every now and then. Like she's champion here, but she did not feel like the star. So it's just kind of like I said, this Lita and Trish kind of dominated this division. So
Yes.
I don't know. And also, there's no stakes to this match. It's kind of just like a welcome back for Lita because she had been gone for over a year at this point and just returned on Raw, I think, the week before this. So, really all this was here for. Trish hits the little Hurricane Rana from the top. Lita hits the little reverse twist of fate and hits the moonsault onto Molly, onto the champion, and pins the women's champion. So I would assume setting up a title match between them down the line. So I guess this accomplished what it set out for, but I don't know. By the way, Gail Kim had to suck off Eric Bischoff to get this match. I don't know if you mentioned that, but that was a thing they did on Raw.
Was it?
Bischoff was in his office. Gail came and was what did she say? She like kicked out whoever was in there, and she was like, "I gotta talk to Bischoff," and she like gets on his lap, and then I don't know.
And after that segment, she's like, "Yeah, fuck this, fuck you, I'm leaving."
It's a wonder why she left. It's a wonder why.
Yeah, don't blame it. But I will say though, this is a nice like way to showcase the women compared to what they just saw with the whole Stacy Keibler thing.
Yeah,
you know. So,
yeah, that's a good point. That's what makes even like the Stacy Keibler stuff that much worse because you have on the same program, you have legit wrestling, but then also some women are just pieces of meat. I don't know. Well, speaking of pieces of meat, you know whose meat got electrocuted? Mr. Shane McMahon. Shane O'Mac.
Dude, tell me you have this clip.
I don't. I should have. I should have. Maybe we'll throw it in post.
Gosh, I wish
we'll reenact it. We'll reenact
to analyze. I was hoping so we could analyze the acting of how he performed this electrocution. I mean, like it was so bad. It's like
was it?
I mean, like it's so funny how like Kane puts the electric on there and he's like looking at him.
Let me see if it's like available on YouTube. Maybe we could. Oh, wait a minute.
He's like staring at him.
Hold on.
And he's like waiting for him to start jerking.
Okay, let's see. We can figure this out. Oh. All right, we're going to do a little share screen action.
Okay.
We'll close my porn monitors or tabs.
Yeah, you got to do those.
All right, we'll share this. All right, you got me?
Oh, here we go. Yep.
You got me? All right.
Look at this. Look like he just came from...
Yeah, the tucked in button up into jeans look was powerful in 2003.
I mean, he just came from like Abercrombie.
Yeah, it's not good. A little full screen.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at him. He's looking at him.
I think what's important, we got to get the him putting on the prongs, I think.
Yes,
here. All right, so he's wedged in, but Shane's handcuffed to the post, wedged in between the stairs.
There should be some sexy music or something like that going through this. Look at him.
Yeah, Kane's. Oh,
look at that. Oh,
yeah. There's one. There's the positive. Let's throw this negative on there. Yeah.
Here's another one for you.
I don't know.
You see, you made of money. Oh, I'm gonna grab your dimes.
I don't know where Kane learned about circuitry.
Like what kind of?
I mean, how do you react to this?
Then,
okay. Here we go. Yeah. Let's close the loop, baby. Yeah, you like this, Shane?
You want to know how much our love is?
Yeah,
our love is electrifying.
He's pissing. Didn't he have like a
like a bladder, like
there was some sort of apparatus, and I forgot about that.
I just love how the camera like has to be right there. Look at him.
Oh man, he is. I think Shane likes it a little bit.
This based the synopsis for 50 Shades. I'm telling you.
And then RVD is the cock tease.
I bet you RVD is in the back just laughing.
He's like, I wanted to get electrocuted.
Wait, I'm not high. This is happening.
What? You want out? Rock does not approve. There you go.
He heard about the electrocution testicles, so he's like, "Wait,
my cats don't have genitals. Don't worry. They don't worry."
I want to see Shane McMahon's reaction. That's what he wanted. But yeah,
it's sweaty. He's a sweaty man. That Shane McMahon. To sum up, so.
That's why we're here. The funny thing about this is like Shane is so bad that he didn't sell this right in the match. Like
Did he
I
not?
wish he did like have like some type of bandage in that area, right? Like
He
always
could-
kind of like fixing himself when he does a kick, like you know, I can't
Right.
extend because of my sack got 21 point gigawatts into my balls.
Oh, I see. Maybe he should have brought out some trunks for this one.
They right there, you
Some
go.
short
See?
tights.
Come
Have
on,
some
you gotta sell
KT
it.
tape.
KT, yeah.
Because everybody's wearing it now. He could have thrown it on his
Throw it on his
perineum.
crotch area.
Yeah, come on now. Do something, Shane. Well, it didn't stop him here. So Shane McMahon versus Kane, last man standing.
Mhm.
I mean, what is it? Look, Kane
This is-
unmasked, set JR on fire, tombstone Linda on the stage, car battery to Shane's balls. Kane got thrown in a dumpster that was on fire, but
Oh my
survived.
gosh,
I
dude,
mean,
yes.
there's so much going on here.
This is the best version, and the theme song.
Ooh, just little
song.
finger 11.
Come on, and the world is all.
He feels it in his soul, Kane does, and he's paralyzed from this.
Dude.
What are some other finger 11 songs? I think that's it. That's all of them.
Unfortunately, I only know 10.
What's Last Resort? No, it's Papa Roach.
No, that's Papa Roach.
It's kind of the same thing, right?
Well, it's funny because this era of like rock-ish music all kind of was the same. I mean,
Butt rock.
Evanescence, right? You had that one
Creed.
group that I forgot the name of that group, but they had that song. It was like, "Get on to what you on." Take on.
Trapped.
Trapped. There you go.
Headstrong.
Headstrong.
Hell yeah, we love butt rock at this household.
Let's go.
Well, this match was butt rock because it was silly, but it rocked. You know?
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It clapped some cheeks.
It's the debut of shirtless Kane. Also, fun fact.
Yes.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Letting
Look at
those nipples free.
smooth too. I gotta say.
He is pretty smooth, isn't he?
Right. I mean, those areolas were huge, though. I gotta admit, they were like balonies. But
we'll have to run the tape back because I can't say I noticed
I was like,
his.
damn, that's the reason why he always had his shirt on.
Right. That was the reason. I see.
Yeah.
Well.
By the way, I kind of look like him with like without a shirt on and glasses off too. So
Have you ever cosplayed as Kane?
I should. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it right now. Hold on. Let me see what you do.
Oh
Let me
boy.
get this thing. There you
Throw
go.
a contact.
I'm gonna electrocute your balls.
That's not bad, actually. You got the lower face of Kane. I like that. It's a little Sabu. A little Kane, a little Sabu, but you know.
More like, okay, people are gonna watch this back like, what the fuck is Chancellor Palpatine doing on? I thought this was Star Wars. What?
It's the crossover everybody's been asking for. I enjoy that. But yeah, this match, I thought this match. So yeah, I would say Shawn and Randy was the best wrestling match. But overall, just how turgid my cockles got, this one got me there. Probably more so than any.
This is the best way to do like hardcore wrestling. Right?
Yeah.
Because you had a little bit of like actual wrestling, but you still use the props, but you didn't rely on them. You know, they kind of like help elevate like all the moves that they were doing. Like when Shane does the coast to coast
with the steps,
you know what I'm saying? The effect of him hitting the barrel is like the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really hinder from like anything else. I mean, and then when when Shane does his freaking suicide dive from the scalpel, it's just nuts, you know.
Where does that rank among all of his?
Oh man,
because yeah, that's the finish.
The
he jumps
one against
off of
Big Show was pretty high, right? Because he went to the highest point of the the scalpel,
the Steve Blackman fall.
Yeah, the Steve, right.
The Hell in a Cell, he dove off of that twice, so that's probably the highest, I would imagine.
See, the Hell in a Cell is weird because he just willingly did that. You know, like
Right.
um the one with Miz, that wasn't really high, right? When they did that like suplex thing, was that high
Yeah, it wasn't
compared
Unforgiven
to his other
'03.
stuff, right?
No, no, no. I
I don't
do
know. I would
like
say for the time,
yeah.
this was pretty wild because I thought by the way he fell, like I thought he would have missed the little like safety pad.
Mhm.
Um,
Was it a
but I
safety
thought
pad?
this is pretty gnarly though.
We don't know. It's '03. There's no rules. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I will say, there may have been spots where he's jumped from higher, but I think the setup was probably the best here among
Yeah.
all of his.
Yeah.
Because Shane McMahon, look, like it's the last man standing match. You got Shane, you got Kane. Obviously, there's a mismatch in physicality there. So Shane has to use the weapons to kind of bridge that gap. So I thought the way they told that was really well. Like the coast to coast, like you said. I do like how he did it with the steel steps instead
Yes.
of like a trash can or a chair or whatever. I thought it looked really good. I'm surprised he
Dude,
didn't do
yes.
that more often.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Kicks Kane. He does it to Kane. Kane's knocked out. It's the last man standing match. You got to stay down for a count of 10.
Mm-hmm.
But the ref before that was wiped out by, I think it was like a big boot from Kane or something. So he couldn't make the count. There's chairs. There's a lot of hullabaloo. They eventually fight to the stage area, which, by the way, I love, like, because you got the Unforgiven set. It's like sheet metal, whatever. You got like the letters have the fire graphic.
Yep.
So I love the visual and the acoustics of Kane throwing Shane into this set because it's so loud, but you also have like the fire in the back. It's just, this is very like
it's like a video game come to life, you know? And
yeah.
you know, I understand what WWE is doing now with the stage sets and everything, but I miss this time of stage sets. You know, the backlash with the different like claw, like the different like swing blades, right? The King of the Ring where they had that electric chair. Remember that giant electric chair?
Yes.
This Unforgiven, even the SummerSlam with the double S's with that big dome. Yeah, this era of stage set is like undefeated too. And yeah, like you said, him climbing on the whole thing is also pretty dope as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically it's like a rectangle kind of setup deal. This stage is so Shane climbs. Well, actually, first, so I forgot. I remember Shane jumping off of the thing, but I was like, what did he land on? So they fight up to where the commentary tables are because at this point they're up there by the stage.
Yeah, it's right the stage.
But the table's like on a platform. It's like, I don't know, 5-6 foot platform.
It like sticks out from the stage. It's not like literally on right.
So Shane is on the concrete floor below the table. Kane flips the announce table to try to throw it on top of Shane. And Kane's like, ha ha ha, I have won, ha ha. And then he goes and he sees Shane's not there. And then Shane comes out from behind. It's just so corny and cheesy, but I fucking loved it. Oh, man.
You know, the thing about Shane that always got me is the way he would punch. He always looks like he's about to pitch. Like he would be like, like bring it back, and then like
he's winding up, man.
Yeah,
he's floating like a butterfly.
Oh yeah, he would do his.
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
He definitely made the noises when he was punching. That's for sure. So Kane flips the announce table, so it gives you this exposed floor, which is what Shane would hit. He would hit him with like one of the monitors or whatever, or like a metal piece of the stage, whatever. He was hitting. He knocked out Kane with something. The boom arm too of the camera swung that around, hit Kane with it.
That was so dope. Yeah.
So Kane's laid out on the floor where the announce table was, and that's when Shane climbs the stage, gets to the top, jumps off, goes for an elbow. I don't know, 20 feet, would you say?
So yeah, and I love how the elbow like is not even an elbow. It's just like,
yeah. If so, let's say Kane didn't move. What are we? This is like the Uncle Howdy shit. Where it's just like,
exactly. I was just thinking that too, but I didn't want to throw that in there. But yes, exactly like the Uncle Howdy thing. Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know. It looked cool, especially for the time and the way Shane crashed through it and his head just went right through it. The sound it made, it was very well done, I thought. And then that's what gets the win. He ain't getting up from that. So Kane wins after the 10 count. They stretch her off Shane. They put him in a neck brace. Commentary's all like, "Oh my God, is he? I think we just saw a life end."
No. Oh no.
So,
Definitely be going answers prayer to Shane right now. Hope he's speedy recovery.
he's been shipped to a local medical facility.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
We'll keep you abreast of the situation as it unfolds. Oh man, when I think of this pay per view, that's what I think of. That spot, this match, and I was very pleased by it. I was very pleased.
No, it was good. It was actually like I wasn't expecting all that, but yeah, definitely Shane and Kane and Shane can't do wrong.
Yeah, I mean they're carrying Raw at this point. in 03, this is by far the best thing on Raw.
Because even after this, they have another crazier match too. Like I don't know if they had something in SummerSlam, but I know in Survivor Series they had the ambulance.
Yes,
that was pretty wild. Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, I think that's the blow off, right? Survivor
I
Series.
think so. Yeah. Yep.
But that brings us to an Intercontinental title triple threat match. We got the champion Christian versus Chris Jericho versus Rob Van Dam. What you think about this one?
Okay, so I know Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton had the best wrestling match, but this match was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, at this time, like obviously at Christian, RVD, but you forget how athletic Chris Jericho was compared to like what he is now. Because like, what we see Chris Jericho now is like, he's a little bit more slower. He's a little bit more methodical how he moves.
Nipples are farther apart.
Belly is all the way down. But this era of Chris Jericho was like up there with the best of them too.
Yeah.
And I thought these three mesh well, and I don't think they ever had another feud after this, the three of these guys.
Three of them, no. I know like Christian and Jericho would go into WrestleMania. Rob Van Dam and Christian, I feel like we're always fighting each other for the Intercontinental title during this like year or two. Jericho kind of came in and out of this scene. So this is kind of the epitome of the Raw mid-card here, but three talented dudes, three guys that are pretty much still going today. I know Rob's not as active, but Christian's like at the top of his game 20 years later, and Jericho is also here. So I would agree. I think it was a very technically good match. Especially that the ending stretch of this was really fun. It feels like the crowd was still reeling from the Shane spot though.
Yeah.
So like the first like 80% of this match, the crowd was pretty much dead.
Right. Which I felt like the three of them kind of knew to like like slowly reel in all their like, highlight moves. Cause like it was a lot of like kind of like chain grappling, you come in, I come in type of thing. And I think once they found their groove, they started ramping it up. You had RVD doing the Rolling Thunder, Chris Jericho doing the moonsault, Christian doing like, some of his high spots that he does and all his antics. So once they let it simmer, I think the crowd got back into it.
Yeah.
Especially when they did that spot with like it was like the power bomb.
Oh, the Tower of Doom.
The Tower of Doom thing. Yeah. And it was pretty wild because who was on the bottom? Christian? Was Christian on the bottom?
I was trying to think because Rob was in the middle, right? He was the number 2 in the human centipede, which is not where you want to be. Not where you want to be.
No, you don't want.
That's the last spot.
Can they get the enter and the exit? Ooh.
Actually, maybe it might be worse to be
the back
because you get no pleasure from the back.
Because you're a giver, not a receiver.
Right.
So
if you want to give, you want to receive.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what Jesus taught me. That's why we celebrate Christmas, right? Giving and receiving.
Exactly.
So, what were you saying?
But whoever was on the bottom, they held them up there for a while, and then did the whole, move set. So, which was pretty wild.
It was because Rob was like all contorted. It was like there's no way he's going to get him up there on his shoulders, but they figured it out.
Right.
They had like stall a little bit, but they figured it out and it looked really good.
Facts.
Also, there's this one point where Christian and Chris Jericho find themselves in a 69 situation on the ground.
Yes.
Only to get 5-starred by Rob while they're midst 69. So that's gotta be a bummer for them.
No, 100%.
Who do you think throws that idea out there when they're like putting together this match? It's like, all right, I don't know what happens, but we got to get to a point where we have each other's balls in both of our faces. Like, sounds like a John Laurinaitis move.
You think it's John Laurinaitis?
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Oh, goddamn.
Vince McMahon. What about Pat Patterson? You don't think it's Pat Patterson?
I mean, yeah. You make a good.
Don't want to point the obvious. Don't want to point the obvious, but
because it is a French sex position. That's what you're saying? That's what you were saying, right?
Yes. Or
is that a menage a trois? I don't know.
Not deja vu.
Oh, could be that.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I don't know. But at the end, so Christian gets his belt, tries to hit Rob with it. Rob stops him, catapults Christian, makes him hit Jericho off the apron. And then Rob tries to go for the 5-star frog splash onto Christian. Jericho tries to interrupt with the chair, but Rob kicks him in the face. Rob goes for the frog splash, but Christian still has the belt in his hands, puts it on his knees, puts his knees up, blocks the frog splash with his knees, with the belt. Bang, bang, boom. Christian retains. Pretty fun finish there, huh?
That creepy little bastard.
CLB Christian. What a force of nature, this fella.
Yeah, dude. I just remember how high RVD used to get on those frog splashes, man. And like the hang time he would get on those.
The impact.
I love Eddie Guerrero. I do.
Mm-hmm.
But Rob Van Dam's hang time on the frog splash.
It's a hotly debated subject. Whoever has the best, I think Rob has the best mix of height, grace, and impact.
Yeah, I think with Eddie is just straight. It's just straight impact, which you're not going to get up from. Most people don't get up from Eddie Guerrero's frog splash. So
all business.
Yeah, so
like Montez Ford is mostly height. I mean, it's still
dude, that's mostly highlight. Yeah.
Who's got the worst frog splash?
Oh, Christian, by far.
That was so fast.
Christian, by far.
You don't like his frog splash?
Because like he's trying to do the D'Lo Brown where he splits the legs, but he doesn't split the legs all the way.
Right.
Because D'Lo Brown does the frog splash where he splits the legs, right? And then he comes out and does it. Yeah. And then what's his name? Kevin Owens does a variation of that, and it's called like the bullfrog.
I think that's Hornswoggle. No, that's a tadpole. Tadpole splash.
Hornswoggle. Seth Rollins does more of a traditional frog splash type.
It's a pretty good one. He's a pretty good one.
It's a pretty good one too.
I'll tell you what, Christian's is the most frog-like, I think. Like if you put a picture of a frog next to Christian's frog splash, it's the most similar. So take that for what it's worth.
Okay. I got you.
That's got to be a part of the criteria, right? What looks most
No, you got to look more like a frog, yeah. And I wonder, do you have to like make the sound too? Do you have to be like ribbit? You know,
he probably does ribbit. He probably throws a ribbit out there.
Okay. I see that. Yeah. I can see that.
Well, speaking of ribbits, we got a couple of ribbits here.
Oh no, is this the?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you got that. You darn tootin'.
Go coach!
Oh, he's here.
Go coach!
Oh
go
man,
coach.
the swag.
Tell me that it's not just Judge Matthews' intro.
The text, yeah, I see it.
And then when they show the coach logo, I don't know if they're gonna show it. There you go, right there.
Hold on, let me find it.
This is like a Snoop Dogg from Timu right here. This is like a, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That is Judge Mathis.
Judge Mathis, man. That's his logo. They stole this whole thing.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's even gold too.
That's it. I thought you were saying that Coach looks like Judge Mathis. I was like, that's
no.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
I meant the video like editing like package. Yeah.
Everyone was using the same Windows Media Player fucking word art.
I think it's Excel at this time. Excel?
Oh, I don't know. I love to use Excel for my videos. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh. Pixar was the
yeah, baby.
Adobe,
Paint? Microsoft Paint. Come on.
Oh, if you didn't know how to use the tutorial, you could go to Ask Jeeves. You know.
Ooh, ask the little what's the guy's name? Little paperclip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh God, I forgot.
I don't
What
know.
those were the search engines back in the day, man.
Yeah, that's how we survived. That's all we had. That's all we had. Well, this match here. So the winning team gets the Raw commentary spot.
Dude.
So of course you got Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross teaming up to defend their spots against the team of Jonathan Coachman and Al Snow.
God.
Dude, this video, I don't have the video package up handy, but it
you
is.
wouldn't want to damage people's corneas with this.
It's so dramatic. It's like this should be comedy, but it's portrayed as like a serious, dramatic, like our lives are on the line, King.
Yeah.
This is all I ever wanted to do, King, and I won't let this guy. You know what he. You know.
Ever since I was a little boy, I've only had one dream and one goal in my mind. And well, King, I'm glad to be here with you all them years. Let's call one match. All right, let's call this last match.
Well, no spoilers, bro. Maybe they win.
First of all, spoilers. If you lose, just leave. Why would you go back and continue to broadcast? Aren't you done?
Yeah,
You're done.
I guess does the pay stop when the bell rings? I guess, right?
Dude. I mean, JR. I know he's been in recovery, but he looked like he was going through cerebral palsy again. When he was on that camera and he turned to the camera and all the skin was just contorted and
good
hanging
here.
on it. What?
Look, the man was just set on fire a few weeks ago. Cut the man some slack. He's melted a little bit.
He was like, I don't even know if he got beat. Like he got beat like from basically from the mat, right? Because he just laid on the mat. So the bouncing of the mat hit his face more than anything else. Like
well, we gotta work our way there because we're gonna dissect this as if it was fucking Okada versus Kenny Omega. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty.
Let's go. Let's do it.
First of all, I mean, Coach comes out, Al Snow comes out. Coach just has the funniest fucking ring music of all time. It's just perfect heel shithead henchman music.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have King and JR make their entrance separately from the announce table where they're sitting at.
Mm-hmm.
What? Just get up, go. You're there. We see you. Dildos.
Right.
But anyways, by the way, another funny note: there's no commentary for this match.
Yeah, no, there's none because they're all in there.
I genuinely think they just didn't plan for. I guess it was only a few minutes long. I don't know
what? I know that this is probably late, but you know what would have been funny if we, for this part of the show, we just did the commentary for that match. That'll be for another time, probably.
A watch along of Al Snow and Coach
because there's no commentary. Because I had an idea that I wanted to pitch to you, but I wasn't sure how you were feeling about it. Because I have a Sooners jersey.
So you're gonna be
I have
JR?
a Sooners jersey, and I was gonna ask you, do you have something that looks like Jerry the King Lawler's
I don't have a crown.
shirt that he was wearing, kind of like that Versace looking thing that he was wearing.
I'm about to say,
and we could have been then commentating the segment, but
I might have a singlet somewhere. I don't know. We'll table that. We'll do that. That'll be on the OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, it's cheap too, guys. It's only 99 cents.
Well, that's last year's prices. Inflation. It's a whole
inflation.
Thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to get into
$1.05. It's $1.05 now.
Right. Yeah. It's thanks Joe Biden. So
the one political joke in the got him. Okay,
well,
go ahead.
Al Snow, Jerry Lawler start out the match, of course, because they're the actual wrestlers here. It was making me laugh that Jim Ross was doing commentary essentially from the apron because that's a clean break, ref. What you gotta get him out of the corner? Like he's yelling because he's so hyper aware that there's no commentary going on And he's been doing commentary all night, so he's like in that mode. So
Right,
he's providing the commentary from the apron, which I appreciate.
No, there's a part. So okay, because I knew that that's what he was doing too. Like he just couldn't turn that off. And
Yeah.
so like I remember, I don't know if they communicated well if they what they were gonna do because JR's not a wrestler, right? And so Jerry the King, I think like he took his punishment, and so he was trying to look for a tag to get out. But JR is in the middle of the apron where like you're not supposed to be for a tag, and he's like, "What are you doing?" You know, kind of like what you're saying. Come on, ref, he's taking a beating over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, dude, JR, get with it. You got to go back to the corner.
Grab that tag rope, brother. Come on now.
Man.
Have some respect for the rules.
Come on.
These kids these days. The spot monkey. JR is a spot monkey. I'm gonna say it.
Ain't he?
Ain't he?
You don't have he didn't have to wear that Sooners jersey, you know, like
what do you want him to wear? A fucking
tank top? Tank top?
Yeah? Like a King Kong Bundy singlet?
Yeah. Some black trunks that say GR across and then a barbecue on the other side.
Just on his crotch, it's just the JR's barbecue bottle. Yeah. Take this opportunity to advertise, JR. Come on now.
Yeah, come on, man.
It's your cookbook on the back of your tights? Something.
There you go. Come on. JR's ribs.
Right? Put it on his ribs.
Come on. JR's couscous.
Did he have couscous?
Come on.
If not, he should.
He should. Because it's so nice. It's named twice.
Oh, come on now. Lay it on me. But eventually, Coach tags in because Jerry's getting his ass kicked by Al Snow at some point. Mm-hmm. Well, no, actually, no. So Al and JR are in the ring. We got to make sure we get this right. Coach is yelling at Al Snow to give King a backdrop. He's like, give him a backdrop. Yes. Give him one more.
Yeah.
Then he whips King into the ropes. JR yells, he's going to give you a backdrop. Watch out. Which, duh, like, of course. So good thinking by JR. And this allows King to counter the backdrop and hits a pile driver.
Right.
On Al Snow. And I think it's at this point where Coach tags in.
Mm-hmm.
Then JR eventually tags in. So now you got Coach and JR, which weirdly enough is probably what everybody was waiting for all night.
Oh, yeah. This is the thing. They were waiting for. JR to wrestle.
That's what they paid their hard-earned money for. It's what they bought the ticket to see. I mean, what do you think of JR's offense here?
Horrible. I mean,
like his northern lariat?
Like a blind drunk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even know if people prepped him and how to throw a work punch or just the footwork alone, you know? Like if Stacy Keibler can learn the footwork, why can't JR? Right?
Yeah.
Especially if somebody who's had all this experience in the business. You know, I mean, when he hit the rope, I mean, first off, he didn't even hit the rope and he just started like skipping or something. It just like, this is who decided this? Who booked this? You know,
it's like he doesn't understand how gravity works. Almost, it's like he's like putting his body in motion in ways where it doesn't make sense. Like you're right, we should have done a watch along of this because it's just a sight to see this match.
Oh. But
mean,
yeah, it is so horrible. It is so horrible.
He throws this clothesline to Coach from the back, but he like starts throwing it like on the opposite side of the ring. So he just kind of hits him on the way down. It's very it shouldn't look clean.
Because
I guess
it's not a regular clothesline. Coach doesn't know how to sell it, so he's just like, you know, like.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Coach is on the opposite side. Not exactly a fucking William Regal either.
Right.
But yes, JR gets the better of him. He hits Al Snow with a low blow, knocks down Coach, mounts him. Got JR on top of Coach, mounting him, pounding him. Yeah. And then Jericho, that goddamn Chris Jericho runs in.
Oh, damn it.
Drop kicks JR in the back.
Ugh.
Coach makes the pin. Coach gets the win. So your new Raw commentary team, Jonathan the Coachman, and Al Head Snow.
horrible, dude. When JR got drop kicked, I thought he died. Like just the way he landed, it was not a bump; it was just a collapse.
Oh, he wasn't expecting it. Not at that specific moment. It was. He. I think he blacked out in there. I think he was.
Dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, I mean, you could tell when he like had to go back and do the commentary after the match.
Yeah. By the way, King and JR were just recouped. They're like, all right, let's call. Let's keep doing this. But yeah, Coach and Al Snow. It's just gotta be. It's gotta be disheartening to get your ass kicked, lose a match, and then hear. Oh, like this is the music that's playing as you.
There you go. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That little like.
It's like the transition, the screen wipe or whatever, star wipe.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. The text, the gold, the color scheme.
Who wants to hear that? Who wants to hear that shit? You know what I'm saying?
I do. It's a great one. It's a banger. I don't know what
That's
you're
what you're
talking about.
bumping in the car, like on a Saturday, Friday night.
It's my first dance song.
Oh wow, sir, is this Coach? Damn right it is. You're damn right.
It was a missed opportunity. Next time, when we renew our vows, I'm gonna throw it on there. Throw it on the loudspeaker.
Sounds good.
Well, so King and JR, they lost their jobs, but they're gonna call one more match. JR gives a heartfelt goodbye, whatever. Here's Goldberg. So we got main event, world heavyweight titles on the line. Triple H is defending against Goldberg. If Goldberg loses, he loses his career. Triple H can also lose the title by DQ or count out. So there's no evolution, no flair, just Triple H versus Goldberg 1-on-1. Thoughts?
This is the era of the bike shorts Triple H.
I believe it was a groin injury that he had to wear them for.
Yeah, right? There you go. Because it was like something that like holds all the muscles together,
right?
And so that like he could still like move freely around and not have it like pinch or hurt anything. But I heard that this was like a bitch to put on. Like it needed like 2 people to put this on. Like that's how tight it was. Just imagine that process. Like Rick Batista, it's time. He's like,
throws his legs up
right now, and he throws his legs up. And they're like, oh, come on, oh, Randy, come on, hold me. You know, like just imagine the process of this, like
a baby getting changed. Just like, all right, assume the position.
And then like, is he wearing underwear? What is he wearing? You know what I mean? Like
maybe a thong.
Right.
I mean, probably no. Why bother wearing underwear at that point?
That's what, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, whoa, you got 2 sledgehammers here. Like,
oh, Triple H doesn't strike me as the guy that's packing, personally.
Oh, really? You think it all went to his nose?
Right? Yeah.
You think all the length went to his nose? Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You can't have both.
I need a little bit of elaboration on why you think he's not.
I don't know, man. Like, he seems just very top heavy in general. Like, not a lot going on the bottom. Like, the nose, you know.
Okay.
Jewish.
Like compared to like somebody like Finn Balor, we know that's a moose knuckle.
He's just thrown it at us. We have no choice but to know.
Oh, dude, when he does the, you know, he's just throwing.
I didn't want to know, but I know because.
Like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Talk about a salami.
That's right. Triple H ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? You got to put it out there for the people if you're willing to present it. So
right.
Okay. He had the sledgehammer's probably compensating.
Okay. So then probably it means the same thing about Chris Jericho with the bat.
Oh yeah, Chris Jericho ain't got nothing going on. What are we talking about? He's Canadian.
So then the next question would be is Mankind with the Sacco. Is that compensating or?
It's definitely battered. That's for sure. It's probably really wet for no reason. It's like one of those.
Okay, I see. I
don't want to think about that. But I am. And now you all
Mr.
are.
Dicko. Okay. So this match.
You know, actually, fun fact. there was a guy in Progress Wrestling who had Mr. Kako.
No.
Do you know what Mr. Kako was?
Please explain.
It was a condom that he would take out, put over his hand, and do the whole Sako thing. But Kako, Sako, it's kind of fun.
If people want to know why we love wrestling, it's for shit like that.
It's for that specifically.
To expand someone's imagination. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Taking something that's protection and then using it for the ultimate protection.
Wow. That's actually pretty
Just
deep. Wow. When
it
you put
did.
it that way.
I'm pretty sure that condom goes deep. So
I mean, if you're willing to accept it. Well, anyways, speaking about going deep, this match went too deep, went too long. It's a Goldberg match. Just fucking spear him, get out of there. What are we doing? Triple H has a fucking torn groin. Why are we bothering having a drawn out match?
I'm telling you. I think he did the same moveset just in different corners too. Like, okay, I'm gonna do a backdrop, put my knee in his head, work on his jaw. Okay, I did that in that corner. I'm gonna do it in this corner. It was like super long, and I don't understand the reason why. Right? Like, and I hate to believe that at this time they're trying to expose Goldberg. But in my opinion, like, okay, so if you're trying to build this guy to be kind of a draw, like, won't you just insinuate the positives and just make this like a 15-20 minute match?
Dude, and that was when he was most successful, even in this era, because he came into WWE. It had the stuff with The Rock, which kind of sucked because it was like this. It was like a long, drawn out match.
Right.
That sucked. He had a match with Jericho that wasn't that good. It was kind of similar thing. But then, like, it comes out on Raw, squashes Rodney Mack in like 30 seconds. Crowd goes ape shit because who would have thought that's why they love Goldberg? Goldberg walks in the SummerSlam into the Elimination Chamber, destroys 4 guys in like 2 minutes. Crowd loves it. So it's like, why aren't we? We're seeing the pattern here. We've done the experiments. We know what works, what doesn't work. But they didn't take that into consideration. So
no. Instead, they waited to the last like 20 minutes of this match to do all of that.
And it felt even kind of anticlimactic because, spoiler alert, whatever. Goldberg wins, spear, jackhammer, new champion. That's cool. Whatever. Triple H, he works on the leg of Goldberg for a while. Just, does the ring post stuff. It's just whatever stuff. The referee takes a bump at some point. Triple H hits a low blow, grabs the sledgehammer. I think he even hits Goldberg in the face.
Yeah, he does.
Once.
I think he does. Yeah.
Goes for another shot. Winds up, but gets speared out of nowhere. Jackhammer. Ref crawls back in, makes the pin, and that's it. So kind of a cool finish, I guess, but it could have just been that, It
could have. And I don't think that like doing it that way would have hurt Triple H either, right?
Right.
Like he still would have been Triple H. I mean, he's still Triple H at this point, even if you beat him with like the 15-20 minutes, because he still could have got in all his stuff. But like I personally am not a Goldberg fan, but I understand like he's somewhat of a draw. I just think that at this time they should have insinuate the positives, because what is this 03? Yeah, I think he's gone right in like 4 months.
Yeah, WrestleMania, so it's like like 5 or 6 months. But
so and he doesn't have that many matches. Like I think even like his championship reign, like he carries this all the way to Royal Rumble and then he loses it, I believe.
Yeah, because he faces Triple H again at Survivor Series.
Right.
And then I think he loses it in a triple threat against Triple H and Kane. And then the Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I don't think he's wrestling a lot on Raw or anything. So
no. And then the thing with Brock Lesnar, pretty much that's it.
Yeah. But I mean, he made up for it. I mean, well, when he first came back in like 2016 or whatever it was, like there was some good stuff there. Then
you mean against Bray Wyatt? You mean against Bray Wyatt?
No. Well, you're going too far. We come back, come back in time where he's like CEO. He beats Brock in a couple seconds. That was great.
Yeah. It was at a WrestleMania. Right?
Yeah. Well, the first one was at I think Survivor Series.
Is that the one where he has his kid in there and his kid also then takes off his shirt too?
I forget what's that. That dude's a stud, by the way.
Now he is, yeah.
He's like a big jacked adult now, and he was just a fat, tubby little kid back then. It's crazy how fast time flies.
He might be the next one. Calling out Liv Morgan.
Yeah. Possibly.
I want to see him and Hook in a tag team.
Yeah, I think he would dwarf Hook.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
What was his name? Gage Goldberg?
Gigi?
GG?
Gigi Spears.
Gigi Spears, Sean Spears' brother. Or is Sean Spears like the biological
the father of Goldberg? Wow.
Of Goldberg, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Sean, you hearing this? Run that on NXT.
Hey.
Yep.
It's you know what I'm saying?
I don't.
It's a score of 10. It's a score of 10.
Okay.
You like that?
No. So yeah. So that's it. Unforgiven. I'll never forgive you for that. But speaking of which, that's Unforgiven. You had to throw a grade out of 10 at it. What do you think you're throwing at Unforgiven 03?
I think I'm gonna give it a 7.5. The Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, the triple threat IC title, the Kane and Shane combination was enough to be like, yeah, this is overall a good wrestling show. I mean, of course, the Dudleys and La Resistance were good. They're always really good. The tag team with the women, it was something. It was respectable because at this time they weren't giving a lot of opportunities like that in this era, right?
Right.
So yeah, I gotta give it a 7.5.
I respect. Yeah, I would say similar. It was, like I said, it was better than I expected. Kind of going into this. I think being a Raw specific, you kind of got to go deep into the bag of tricks to like fill a pay-per-view. So there's some weird stuff in there, but Shane and Kane was great. Randy, Shawn was good. There was some, like even Goldberg winning was a cool moment, I guess. There's some good stuff in here.
Yeah, there is. Yep.
But I mean, there's some good stuff. There's some bad stuff that you can get the GETCHO podcast. First of all, Juss, thank you for coming on here, talking some wrestling. Always a pleasure having you on. Where can everybody find you, the GETCHO boys, and all that stuff?
Well, if you enjoyed my takes and my jokes and my comments, then you can find me in the GETCHO Podcast on Twitter, GETCHO Podcast on Instagram. I'm also featured with Marks and Mikes on Fridays. GETCHO episode will be dropping this week, as well as a Literal Diaries episode. Be trying to come out with that too. But yeah, Kyle, this is always a pleasure to come on one of these. It never feels like we're talking about wrestling. It just feels like two good friends getting together and talking about human centipedes and who's the receiver, who's the giver, and all that.
Who's the receiver and the giver in this situation?
Do we have time to call Charlie?
Well, Charlie's definitely the middle centipede. That's for sure. I think no one's arguing with that. All right. I think that's a good
shout out. But yeah. Shout out human centipede.
Once again, thank you to Juss from the GETCHO podcast for joining me on this. I feel like I have saliva in my mouth. And not the band. Like I like to punish people who listen to the end. That's why I do that. Thank you to Juss for joining me on this episode. Always a good old time with Juss. And I think it's about all I got for you, honestly. Appreciate you guys stopping by, giving me a tickle on the nipple, and have a great day. Have a blessed evening or a handsome morning. Get out of here. I'm hard.
Yeah. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started.